Hello students, today we are going to start the new chapter, how do organism reproduce. So all of us know about reproduction also, but first of all we should know what is the need of reproduction, why reproduction is taking place in all the living organisms. We know that reproduction is not an essential life process and living individual can survive without reproduction also. But even then, all living organisms, they reproduce. And if we want to say the definition of reproduction, reproduction is simply production of new organisms by the living organism of their kind. It means an organism will produce new organism of its kind or like it. Like the parents give rise to children, and these children somehow they resemble their parents, and these children, there are many names we can call the children as progeny, the next generation. So the next generation, it is also known as the progeny or next generation, or even we can call offsprings, or even we can say children or kids. They are the next generation, the individuals or the organism which are formed by the previous generation. They are known as offsprings or progeny, and these are formed by reproduction. So this is, we can say, the definition of reproduction, and we were talking about what is the need of reproduction. Reproduction is very important, first for perpetuation of race or species. What do we mean by perpetuation? Continuity. The continuity of race or a species or even life cannot be there without reproduction. If no new individuals will be formed, old will die one day and there will be no one to carry forward that particular race or that particular species. So for perpetuation or continuity of life, reproduction is needed. The second important factor is for evolution. Evolution cannot take place if no reproduction is there. So these are two important points why living organisms need reproduction. There is a very old saying, life begets life. It is a very old saying, something in Greek or that era, life begets life. What does it mean? It means that the new life is produced from the old life. It is we can use it in reference to our reproduction. That is, by reproduction, old individuals or organisms, they form new individuals. Now, this is about a little about the reproduction. Now, this reproduction is of two types: asexual reproduction and second is sexual reproduction. Today we will talk about only asexual reproduction. It is quite a lengthy one, and first we should know what is the difference between asexual and sexual. In asexual reproduction, only one parent is needed, while in sexual, two parents, one female and one male, they are needed for sexual reproduction to takes place. In asexual, single parent is needed. And the second important difference is no gametes are formed in sexual reproduction. What are gametes? Gametes are reproductive cells, male and female. Like in human being, the male gamete is sperm and female gamete is ovum. So male and female gametes, they are needed in asexual reproduction, but they are needed in sexual reproduction, and they are absent in asexual reproduction. These are the two main points. The third can be, in asexual reproduction, the offsprings or the progeny is genetically similar to their parents, but in sexual there is much difference. We will talk about this later when we will study sexual reproduction. Now we have three important points. One, single parent needed. Second, no gamete formation. And third, in asexual, all the offsprings are genetically similar. They are like their parent. So this is how asexual reproduction. And now we will see how many types of asexual reproduction are there. There are many types, but we will study a few. So first is fission. The first type of asexual reproduction is fission. Do you know the meaning of fission? Fission is to break down into two or many. Fission is formation of two parts from one. So this is the verbal meaning of fission. So fission takes place in many protozoa, mostly in single cellular protozoa and others also. So in protozoa we will see the fission, and we will study 3-4 protozoa how this fission takes place. One in amoeba, second we can see in paramecium, third we can see in, what is that, malarial parasite, or it is also known as Plasmodium. The scientific name is Plasmodium. So we will see, and one more we can see in one more protozoa, that is Leishmania. This is also the scientific name, Leishmania. It is also a single-celled protozoa. This is unicellular, this is unicellular, this is unicellular, and this is unicellular. All protozoa, they are unicellular, having only a single cell. So in amoeba, the fission, all are reproducing by fission. In amoeba, all of you know, this is amoeba, irregular shape. The fission is also irregular. This amoeba, first it's divided into the cell in this nucleus, it elongates and it divides into two daughter cells, and these two daughter cells, they will form the new organism, and the division of the fission is irregular. It is a type of cell division. It is dividing as a cell, as the cell divides. So this is the parent amoeba. It is dividing into two. This nucleus elongates, and then a division is there, and two new amoeba are formed. So the division is irregular fission. We can call this type as irregular fission. It is in amoeba. In paramecium, paramecium is something like that. The division is horizontal. So in two equal parts, the body of the paramecium, again a unicellular protozoa, it divides into two, and the cell elongates, one nucleus elongates, one nucleus is here, one is here. All other organelles, they have also divided, and two daughter paramecia are formed, and this is divided by horizontal division. Malarial parasite, it is divided by multiple fission. Suppose this is one cell of paramecium, it is also unicellular, it causes malaria, and the name is Plasmodium. Two species are there. One is Plasmodium vivax and other is Plasmodium falciparum. You have studied in 9th class. So Plasmodium vivax, it is the common malaria and it divides by multiple fission. How? Many small daughter parasites, malarial parasites, they are formed by many division. The cell divides again and again and closed in the same body, in the same cell, and many small fragments are formed, and each fragment will form one individual of malarial parasite. So this is known as multiple fission. Multiple fission. This is known as binary fission. Why it is known as binary fission? Because bi means two. From the one cell, only two cells are being formed. So this is binary fission. Many cells are formed. So this is multiple fission. In Leishmania also, it is only the binary fission. Do you know? You have studied in 9th. This is Leishmania, like this. A flagella is there, elongated body, and it divides by binary fission, but longitudinally. One nucleus is here, one is here. The longitudinal division is there. One more flagella is formed and it divides vertically. So one Leishmania, it divided into two and two organisms are formed. Do you know what is Leishmania? Leishmania is a protozoa. It causes Kala-Azar. Kala-Azar fever. It is mostly found in Africa and this is transported by sandfly. Sandfly is the carrier to carry this Leishmania protozoa to different man to man, one person to the other person, and the disease caused is Kala-Azar, very deadly disease. So this is how Leishmania, it divides vertically, Paramecium horizontally, amoeba irregular, and Plasmodium vivax, all this, what is this? Malarial parasite by multiple fission. So this is the first case of fission, the first type of asexual reproduction, that is fission. Now coming to the second, that is a simple one, very simple, and that is fragmentation. Second is fragmentation. Fragmentation, suppose we have this thread and we tear it into many parts. So we are fragmenting the thread into many parts. It is known as fragmentation. What is fragmentation? Formation of many fragments is known as fragmentation. So the example is in Spirogyra. Spirogyra is an algae found in freshwater ponds, and it is known as pond silk also. The filaments, it is filamentous in nature and filaments are quite silky, green in color. So this is algae. So this is the structure of Spirogyra. Many these rectangular cells, they are arranged one over the other. And why the name Spirogyra? Because its chloroplast is spiral in nature. This is the nucleus, this is the chloroplast, and this is the cytoplasm. This is cell wall. It is plant, so it is having this cell wall. These are partitions. So these type of cells, vertical cells, rectangular cells kept one upon the other, it is the structure of the algae Spirogyra. And fragmentation is the process of reproduction, simple, nothing doing. This divide into many parts and each part then grow into a separate filament and new individuals are formed. So very simple. In other filamentous algae also and other filamentous plants which are in water, this type of reproduction is there. But this is a multicellular organism, Spirogyra, having many cells, so it is multicellular. But in other multicellular organism, the reproduction is not so easy. Why? Because in multicellular organisms, many cells together, they form a tissue. You know, you have studied in 9th class that many cells, same type of cells together, they form a tissue, and many tissue together they form an organ, and different organs perform different functions or different tasks. So by fragmentation, new individual cannot be formed. By this simple reproductive process, no new individual, perfect individual cannot be formed. So other methods are there for asexual reproduction, and they depend upon the organization of the organism or the type of the organism. Different organism, they reproduce differently according to their need. So the third we will take, the third is regeneration. The third type is regeneration. Third type of asexual reproduction is re. You means, you know, re means again. Regeneration. That is generating again. And here we take the example of one platyhelminthes animal. This is known as, this is a flatworm. This is a flatworm and the name is planaria. These type of individuals, they are known as planarians. So this is a planaria and it belongs to the phylum Platyhelminthes. So this is the phylum for flatworms. So this planaria belongs to this phylum and it has a special characteristic. How? If it is cut into pieces by chance or accidentally, if different pieces of this planaria are cut, then each piece regenerate into new. This head, this is the old one, it will form a new individual. The middle part, this is the old part, this will form a new individual like this. And the tail also, it will form a new individual like this. So all the three parts, they can generate into new planaria. How they are forming new planaria? Because it has some regenerative cells. So this planaria, it has having regenerative cells. These cells, they have special characteristics to form many cells, to proliferate into many cells. What is proliferation? Proliferation is dividing again and again to form a mass of cells. When many cells are formed, these cells, according to the need of the organism, they develop into different kinds of cells forming different tissues. So these regenerative cells, during development, they develop into different cells. During development, they form different cells and a new individual is formed. But this type of reproduction, regeneration, is not very common, and a few organisms can produce the other part of the body by regeneration, because regenerative cells are not present all over the body in many organisms. So this is the third type, and the fourth type is, what is the fourth one? Fourth is budding. Fourth is budding. Budding means formation of bud. You know this is hydra. This hydra has these tentacles of hydra, and this is the body of the hydra. Hydra lives in fresh water. So, and which phylum? Coelenterata or what? So, hydra is a freshwater animal. Budding takes place for reproduction in hydra. At some place, the same regenerative cells, which can form a mass of cells and which can develop into different type of cells. Suppose some cells are there, a small protuberance, it is given out from the body of hydra, and this is like a bud. Now this bud, it develops, and after maturity a new individual is formed from this bud. A new hydra is formed, and when it becomes mature, it separates from the body of the mother, and it gives rise to a new individual. So this is how budding takes place in hydra, and this is also due to the regenerative cells. So this is the fourth one. The fifth is vegetative reproduction. The fifth is vegetative reproduction. It is asexual reproduction, and because gametes are not involved, only single parent is involved, but vegetative reproduction takes place only in plants. All type of plants, they can reproduce by vegetative reproduction. And there are many methods. One is grafting. You must have heard about the grafting in roses and other. You must have seen, if this is a rose, you must have seen on a same rose we can have many different type of flowers, many colored flowers. Even in bougainvillea, we have 2-3 colored flowers on the same plant. How it is done? It is node. All of you know node. This is stem or node. A cut is given at node, and the apical bud from a different plant is put in this cut. And this apical bud, not apical, axillary bud. This axillary bud, it can form a complete branch of its kind. So this branch may have red flower and the original may have yellow flower. So by grafting, reproduction is done and new plants are also formed. Other type may be layering. Layering is done in sugar canes also, in mogra flowers also. Layering is like, suppose this is a plant of mogra, and this is the slender stem, and here are roots. This stem, it is put in the sand, in the soil. It is digged into the soil, and this is the branch. This is the same branch, and after some time new roots developed, which part is put in the soil. Then this part is cut. This will form the new plant, and this is the old one. So this is known as layering. It is done in many plants like mogra flowers, jasmine, and many. So this is grafting, layering. Then this vegetative reproduction is done in plants which lost the capability of seed formation, like banana. And we have seedless grapes. We have seedless citrus fruits. So now we have many types of fruits which are seedless, even the vegetables also. So which lost the property of character of forming seeds. This vegetative reproduction is used for formation of new individuals. So this is the other type. What else is there? One more should be there. So when seed is not formed, they are formed, then layering, then grafting, and stem cutting also. Stem cuttings, you know, the rose cutting and many cuttings, sugarcane cuttings. So by stem cutting, by root cutting also, new plants can be grown, and stem cutting in potato. You know, potato is the stem and these are the known as buds on its body. If this bud is grown, then it will form a new plant. And some leaf buds also, and the example is the leaf of Bryophyllum. This is the leaf of Bryophyllum. It is the botanical name, and in Hindi it is known as Patthar Chat. This plant is known as Patthar Chat. And here at the margin many buds are present, the leaf buds. When this leaf is put in soil, new plants can develop from these buds. This is the root, this is the plant. So this is again a type of vegetative reproduction, and new plants are formed by these leaf buds. So this is the fifth one, vegetative reproduction. Now we will see what is the sixth one. Sixth and the last is spore formation in fungi. So sixth and last is spore formation, and we will take the example of the fungi Rhizopus. Rhizopus is a fungi, and how this asexual reproduction takes place in Rhizopus? It is by spore formation. You must have seen that on a bread piece, if it is moist, or even on chapati, roti, if they are moist, if they are kept in a if they are in a warm place and some water is there, if this is a bread, some wool-like growth, some woolly growth is there on this piece of bread. Small, thin filaments, a group of filaments like a wool, we can see on these pieces of bread. So what is this? This wool-like growth is nothing but the fungus Rhizopus. So this is known as mycelium. This is known as mycelium, and a single thread is known as hypha, and the plural is hyphae. Plural is hyphae, singular is hypha. One thread is known as hypha, and the complete ball of these threads, it is known as mycelium. Mycelium of fungi. This Rhizopus is a fungus. And how it is reproducing? By formation of spores. Out of these hypha, any one, it become vertical, and a ball-like structure is formed on the top of this hypha. So many may grow like this, and balls are formed on the top of these hypha. And this elongated or vertical hypha is known as sporangiophore. And this structure is known as sporangia. Sporangia means a bag having many spores. So inside this sporangia, many spores, black, small, or maybe any color. In different fungi, the color of the spores is different. In Aspergillus, they are green-blue in color. Penicillium, they are blue in color, in mucor they are jet black in color, and here they are black in color. So in sporangia, inside sporangia, a powder like small black spores, they are filled this sporangia or ball like structure, and this stalk is known as sporangiophore. When this matures, these spores, they come out of the sporangiophore, it bursts open, and these spores then they are dropped on some warm surface having moisture, then they start growing, and again this mash of rhizopus fungi is formed, mycelium is formed. So this rhizopus fungus, it is reproducing by spore formation. So these are the types of asexual reproduction. Different individuals reproduce asexually in different methods according to their need. So this is all for asexual reproduction. In the next video, we will do sexual reproduction. Thank you.